was abusive. Well, welcome back, guys. If you watched the video that was literally on 14 seconds ago, you would have saw that Hector kind of made me a deal that he wasn't really going to hurt me, but I got a couple bullets right in my ass cheek, you piece of shit.
Stop crying and get to the fights.
I'm going to get to it.
Well, you spend all your...
Well, if you just pipe down and let me do it, I can do it so I can go inside and stay warm.
You? Inside?
Yeah, I know. You never let me go inside. Just a little bit of humor we're having with the camera. Just hit the link above and you'll be able to see what we're talking about and what all the excitement's about. But now, as we take our plane and fly all the way over to Connecticut to watch a huge Bellator event. It is the next stage in the welterweight World Grand Prix. That is so exciting because this Grand Prix should be what MMA is supposed to be all about, and that's what it originated when it first came for those first UFC 1 days, and of course those Shoot the Box Brazil days where it was like fighting 3, 4, maybe even 5 times in one damn night. Even though it's not quite like that, it's still damn exciting because you still have an amazing bracket with a huge headliner. But let's talk about the first fight on this card. We have the debut of UFC vet Eric Silva, and he is going against Russian undefeated prospect in the MMA world and Bellator vet Yaroslav Amosov. Now let's talk about Yaroslav Amosov. When you look at his record, yeah, he is not really fighting anybody that you even recognize at all. But he does boast a 20-0 record. And that's devised on the fact that he can knock you the out. He's got many TKOs. He's got submissions, which means he's amazing on the ground. And he's been to decision numerous damn times, which means he has a pretty damn good cardio tank as well. And guess what? Like I said before, if you just rewind a couple seconds, he's never lost. He's never tasted defeat. Yaroslav made his name in Tech Rep FC before he got picked up by Bellator at Bellator 202, taking out Gerald Harris, which is actually a very big name and an actually ex-UFC vet as well. Now, when we look at Eric Silva started off the UFC super strong with his Bruce Lee-esque style techniques when he engages in striking with his opponents. But we spoke as MMA fans way too soon, because when you look at Eric Silva's record, anytime he has fought the who's who of MMA, he failed terribly. John Fitch, Don Hyun Kim, Matt Brown, Nordine Taleb, and of course in his recent Jordan Main. And in that Jordan Main fight, I just want to point out what kind of cheapskate piece of shit Eric Silva was for going in there pretending like he wanted to touch hands, and instead of touching hands, throwing a Superman punch to Jordan Main, trying to catch him off guard. Thank God Jordan Main got the best of you and beat the shit out of you and finished your ass, which is why I think this fight is fantastic, because you're coming into the Bellator world, a world you are new at. But Yaroslav is 20-0, and you are not going to be the first loss on his record. He is going to be another loss on your record, and that's what I think. I think Yaroslav is going to be too mature, and that is the key word, mature, because we know one thing for sure. Eric Silva, throughout his whole career, he has lacked absolute MMA sportsman-like maturity. He has zero. Crazy, because I'm a Silva too, which just makes me sad.
That's one of the reasons why I think you're a bitch.
I know that already. Yaroslav is going to close that distance, not keep it a striking match. He's going to close that distance. He's going to try to take it to the ground. He's going to grapple you and just be far too much on the ground for you to handle, and he's going to be able to finish you, I'd say, probably in the first round. Now, we are going to go to the heavyweight division. This is a rematch between two UFC vets, now Bellator vets, between Mirko Cro Cop and Roy Nelson. Now, Roy Nelson and Mirko met years ago, and when Roy Nelson knocked Mirko Cro Cop the f*** out. For some reason, Mirko Cro Cop was that guy in Pride that everybody's like, yo, this guy could be the very best heavyweight in the world. But when he came inside the octagon cage, he could not find success. It was like the cage surrounding was a huge curse to him, and for some reason, it just played in his mind, and he just kept getting knocked out left, right, and center. Much like Roy Nelson, when everybody figured out that he was just a one-trick pony, although he is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, which he can never use, probably because he has that fat-ass belt in his way that can never actually move aside so he can actually perform any kind of submission hold to begin with. But he just kept getting knocked around, and yes, he was facing the best of the best, losing to Daniel Cormier, who is the current champ in the light heavyweight and the heavyweight division, Mark Hunt, Alistair Overeem, Josh Barnett. Like, these are all guys that you should never hang your head to losing to. Derek Lewis. In Roy Nelson's last two outings, he has fought heavy hitter in the Bellator roster and Sergey Kharitonov, losing by unanimous decision decision, and of course losing his rematch in the opening of the Heavyweight World Grand Prix against Matt Mitrione. So he has not had that much fun as far as being a Bellator employee goes. Now, as far as Mirko Cro Cop goes, the guy that everybody said was long done, and including himself, he's like, I'm done, I'm retiring, I'm going back to the police force, I can't do this anymore, it's not inside of me, I don't have the love for it, whatever. But he's on a 9-fight win streak. 9! Starting off with back-to-back knockouts against Satoshi Ishii, coming back to avenge his grossly grotesque knockout loss to Gabriel Gonzaga, knocking the hell out of King Mo in Risen, and fighting a bunch of other people that really, at the end of the day, you have no idea who the they are. And that is the problem in this fight. It's really hard to predict because, yes, Mirko Cro Cop is on a big high, but off fighting no names in the MMA world, and that is a big predicament here. We're gonna see how much that plays a factor, but I do think he's gonna be coming in off a high. And one thing for sure, Bellator, I don't think they're testing as much as they do in the, obviously in the UFC or any other organizations. So I think Mirko's gonna be getting away with PED usage, and I think that's gonna be to his advantage. And one thing for sure that we can say is Mirko has far more tools. He actually has submission victories as well, but you don't want to take this to the ground against Roy Nelson for obvious reasons. First of all, his fat will suffocate the out of you, and second of all, he is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, so he knows a thing or two about being on the ground. Mirko has deadly knockout power, where Roy Nelson just has that overhand right, which is deadly, and if it connects, oh my god, Mirko, you're getting knocked the out again. But if Mirko's smart, keep the distance, and you're gonna win this fight no damn problem. But I think Mirko and Roy Nelson, they're just gonna meet at the center of the cage, and I think someone's going out in the first round. I think mostly because Mirko is just gonna be so on a high from this 9-fight win streak and so excited to win back this brutal knockout loss that he has on his resume. Is it gonna happen? I hope so, but it doesn't mean it's going to. Anything can happen, especially with Roy Nelson's 1 knockout power. Cro Cop wins by first round. He's gonna rubber him, hopefully with a head kick, take him to the ground, and just ground and pound him until the ref pulls him off. And that's probably gonna be the end of Roy Nelson. Now, when we go to the main event, holy f***ing shit. This card is so stupid not to be in London, England, because this headliner, you have Michael Venom Page, undefeated, going against Paul Semtex Daley. Not undefeated. But Paul Daley has made his career just roar off the walls in the MMA community and the kickboxing community. He has devastating knockout power, but obviously he has a terrible grappling game, and that's why he is always losing to the grapplers, whether it's John Fitch, whether it's Josh Koscheck back in the UFC days, current welterweight champion Rory McDonald, and of course one of the best 170 strikers on the planet Earth in Douglas Lima. Lucky for Paul Daley, you're fighting somebody that has no interest on going on the ground, and his skill set's probably not very great on the ground as well, and that's in Michael Venom Page. Michael Venom Page, when it comes to his striking, he is as courageous, he is as stylistic, methodical as anyone can possibly get. He is the showman of the MMA world, and that means taking out the dance moves of Anderson Silva, the showmanship of John Jones. He's got all those guys beat in terms of being a mother fancy pants. However, the big problem that I do see on his resume is, once again, he is not fighting great people. I mean, he had that devastating flying knee knockout, which was absolutely devastating, but it was against Evangelista Cyborg Santos. Then after that, he had a close call split decision victory against Fernando Gonzalez, which in my opinion, MVP should be beating that guy 9 times out of 10. In his last outing, he had a very good showing in where tough guy caveman David Rickles tapped out due to strikes. He gave up. The beating that he was getting from MVP was just far too much. Now, this is obviously going to be a stand-up award. If it goes to the ground, kill me right now. He can't kill me. He's an idiot. But the way this fight goes is plain and simple. They're both going to stand on their feet. They're both going to engage, but I think they're both going to be cautious at first, especially Semtex Daley. This is a striking tactician. This is a fucking magician on his feet that's going to take his time, wait for openings, and just catch you with different techniques that you haven't seen before. So I do think this is going to be a one-sided beatdown, and that's going to be in favor of Michael Venom Page. I think Michael Venom Page is just going to give you a beating that you are totally not prepared for, and you're just going to get caught on guard with spin kicks, leg kicks, spinning elbows, spinning back fists. I do think this fight actually may go to decision, though, because I don't know if MVP is going to have what it takes to put the tough guy like Paul Daley away. I do think for MVP, it's going to end there, but we'll talk about that at later events. So that's my prediction. I got MVP taking this via unanimous decision, landslide. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm freezing cold even though I'm wearing gloves because it's like minus 15 degrees Celsius, which you take out your calculator. I don't know. I don't have a calculator and I can't really do math. I hope you enjoyed the doubleheader. Remember, if you want to see the other event that's happening this weekend, our arch rivals, the UFC, at the beginning of this video, I showed you that there was a link up top that you could just click and you can watch it as well. I've been out here for so damn long doing 2 back-to-back events for you guys. I didn't do this shit for nothing, guys. So you guys better like, you guys better comment below, share it to all your friends, share it to all your damn enemies. They're the ones that need it the most. Hit the subscribe button, punch the notification bell right in the face because you know I'm just gonna get crazy. If you don't, I'm not gonna be doing this for nothing because I'm outside having a heart attack and dying of hypothermia. I'm having a heart attack.
For realsies? Jesse?
I'm okay. Heck, I'm okay. That was a close one, right?
Pretty darn.
Holy shit.
Yet you're here.
I know, that's cool, because that was like the first time that you never got the...
You were saying?